Welcome back, everyone. Tonight I want to paint some cute flowers, white flowers at that, in 10 minutes or less. And I keep seeing other artists do the 10-minute challenge. So I'm going to give this a go. Okay, so 10 minutes or less, let's make a pretty white bouquet. And when I say white, I am not using white watercolor paint. I'm actually using a gray. And what I'm going to do is the lifting technique to create these petals. So I'm going to start off with a Payne's Gray. I think this is Payne's Gray. And I'm just going to throw some petals down, okay? And kind of in a peony shape, I guess, style. I'm just going to get those on. And before they dry, I'm going to rinse my brush really good, dab it on my paper towel, and I'm going to come back in and I'm going to swipe away some of that color. Okay, so simple, rinse. You're just kind of pushing that color towards the center of the flower. You are getting rid of a lot of it, yeah. You're kind of leaving the soft lines behind. Okay, so we need some more petals there. Just gonna bring them in like that. I know that looks crazy dark, but we'll get rid of that here in a second. There we go. Rinse. Bring it in. Same as we did before. Pushing that color towards the center of our flower. And then once this is dry, we will do the center part. Okay, so I'm going to dry this real quick. Okay, so my flower is dry. I'm going to go ahead and make another one up at the top. A similar flower, I believe, is what I'll do. And we'll kind of tilt it the other direction. Kind of the same shape. And again, we're working with a white look, a white flower, but we're using a gray paint. And I'm just using the compound brush stroke to make these petals. And I'm just using where I'm pushing down and pushing the paint towards the center of the flower. And it helps to show the difference in the petals. It kind of gives those fine line looks there. Okay, that looks great. I'm also using a size 10 Princeton Neptune. These are some of my brushes, and they're not terribly expensive either. They're right up there. I don't know. I've got some of the more expensive ones, and these are right up there as some of my favorite brushes. I tend to reach for these more than I do any other brushes. I do like, oh gosh, what are they called? The Princeton Aqua Elite. I like those also, especially the ones that are long round. I can do a lot of roses with those. Okay. Kind of bled over into that one, so I'm pushing that color down. So I'm going to dry my second flower and then we'll do the center part. So I'm not totally sure how I got these black marks, kind of streaks, but I'm not worried about them either. They kind of look like they need to be there. And you'll find that in nature that you're not going to have the perfect flowers. So in the center, I'm just going to come up and kind of follow my the curves of the petals. I'm going to dab that off a little bit so I don't get big lines. And on this one, I'm using a script brush. It's a size 1 Princeton Neptune. And I'm just bringing some of these out from that center. And then I'm just going to put little dots on the end. And I might want overkill on some of those. That's okay. I like my flowers really loose. Makes them look a little more genuine. And you can fill in with shorter ones. Get those gaps filled in. The little stamens here and there. Okay, so that looks kind of big actually. It's funny. Sometimes I just don't like the way I've done my flowers. And that's okay. Just real quick, adding some more of those little pieces, adding that dot. To each one of those. And then I'll switch back to my size 10 Princeton napkin, and I'm going to grab some, I think this is olive green, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to add some pretty leaves, some greenery to our picture to kind of cap off the picture itself. And I'm just using that compound brush stroke once again. Push down, heavy pressure, light pressure, and pull up. Okay. If you see any kind of pulling like I've got going here, some people don't mind that. If you don't like it, just take your brush and tap into that color and pick it up. Okay. Just kind of fill in with some green here and there to kind of finish off our look. And voila, less than 10 minutes, good brush practice. And we also did that lifting technique where we picked up some of the paint to get our white looking flowers. So I hope you guys give this a try. If you are enjoying what you're doing, please be sure and hit that like and subscribe button.